All right, here we go. We have one of the great singing voices of our era in the building today, Anthony Hamilton. Welcome to Vlad TV.
Thank you, man. It's good to be here, brother.
Absolutely, man. Such a long time fan of what you do, and it's like what you've done is so timeless.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a hit record, something that goes viral these days, and then that's it. But to have timeless music that's still played a decade, 2 decades, 100 years from when you create it, I think that's something that very few people actually accomplish. And I think that what you've put together already has already accomplished that.
Wow. Thank you. You know what? It feels good, man. Doing music, something that you feel is so it's so precious to you and so sensitive in terms of what you put out, how vulnerable you are in those moments, and you share it with people and you get the feedback.
Yeah, and what you've done, I feel, in your career is that you've never chased any trends. You've never gone with the hot producer of the time or try to get features for whoever the hot rapper is. You've just created music from your heart that you put together with your own team.
Yeah.
And it shows.
I think it's better when it's organic, when you feel like you connect with the producer and the song that you're singing, you can identify with it. I think it has more effect in terms of how it vibrates to people and to the community. So that's always something that I look forward to.
No, absolutely. Well, this is your first time here, so I want to go ahead and start in the very beginning.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tell me about Charlotte in the 70s.
Charlotte in the 70s? Wow. Charlotte, one of the later cities to get, in terms of developing any kind of entertainment scene. It's been known for banking. And, I think back in the 70s, there were a lot of hi-fi performances and shows. Like James Brown would come through. I remember my mom and dad, I'm talking about how they would go see James Brown. He would come to a place called the Grady Cole Center. And that was one of the key places for entertainment. But it was a small city with the thirst for progression. Beautiful city, very green, very rooted in church, Southern Baptist. But, we had, moments of racial divide and those things, but pretty much kept it together.
Okay. Do you remember racist moments growing up in North Carolina?
The younger part of my life, you're not really connected to anything other than playing. But as you get older, you started noticing that people would question you different, whether you wear a polo shirt or Yves Saint Laurent too early. It's like, oh my God, how'd you get that? Or if you dress a certain way or have a certain lingo or style, people consider you not black. It's like, oh, you must be from the suburbs. I was like, no, I'm pretty much from right off of Amby James, or right across from the liquor stores and fried chicken spots. So you sense it in a way. Sometimes it's not aggressive or racism, but it's like that gentle, kind, polite racism that we've sensed.
Yeah, I think they call it microaggression.
Microaggression, yeah, it could be that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
pipe down.
Yeah, like white people touching your hair and that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not overt aggression, but it's a microaggression.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the home life. You were primarily raised by your mom or both parents?
My mom raised me for the bulk of my life, earlier part of my life, and then I was brought into another family. I got adopted when I was probably 14, 15 by another family. My mom had a bout with life and trying to figure it out, not having the best relationships and having the best head of the house can wear and tear on you.
And your mom had problems with alcohol.
Yeah, she had a few. She poured maybe one or two, um, stronger than she should have, maybe. Yeah, but soon turned it around after a couple years. But yeah, she had a few moments of not her best self.
What do you think was your worst experience of that era
I think the
when your mom
adoption.
was struggling with it?
I think the adoption itself. I think when you choose to leave your own family, it's almost like you feel like it's betrayal. So dealing with that and the guilt of having to decide and choose um, in front of my mom and my sister, they were both together. So I think having to choose that, the other family over them, it was almost like I let them down, but it was something I know I needed. So, so that was probably the harder part of it.
Right, because you went to go live with a totally different family, like your friend's family, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Was there
totally
like a
different.
final straw where you just said, okay, I can't do this home anymore. I'm going to have to go over here?
I think after my mother's husband passed away, and I think that really had a hard. It hit her pretty hard. It took a toll on her, and so I think then I knew then that you know I'm gonna need more stability because the things that I want to do, I need stability and I need a certain amount of structure um, because I can see without that structure, I was either gonna go this way or that way. But I was already focused on what I knew I was supposed to be doing.
Okay. And where was your father during this time?
I mean, he was in and out. He was around the first, I think, up until I was maybe 14, 15. He was in and out here and there. I get some sneakers, get some couple pair of jeans, spend a night here and there. But it got to a point to where he was just not available, and he was still young, fairly young at this time. Who's also a singer, where I get my voice from. He's almost got signed to Motown, and so I guess he was chasing his dreams. And I remember he was in love with a younger black woman. She was beautiful, and I remember her. She was really nice. So I'd spend the night, and she'd be there, and he was all in. And after a while, I guess he just didn't have the patience. And then we rekindled that before my marriage in 2005. I think that's when I got married.
Okay. So at one point you move in with this other family, and you're what, like 14 at the time, or?
14, 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there was a situation near your home when somebody gets killed.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I remember. I was at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother was alive, and this is when everything was sweet and beautiful. My cousin Marie, used to date a man. Well, actually, her husband, his name was Herman, and Herman and Marie were there. They tend to have a good time. They enjoyed their life, and I think there may have been some drinking involved. But Marie's father, for whatever reason, was mad at Herman, and he told him, "You come outside, and I'm gonna kill you." And I'm looking out the screen door, and Uncle Jess was at the end of like one side of the street, maybe about 30 feet, 40 feet away. And Herman came out, and he shot him with a shotgun. And they put a pillow under Herman's head, and that was the end of Herman. Herman was the one. He gave me the nickname Golf Ball. I was fascinated. Every time he'd bring me a golf ball, I was fascinated, and so he just started naming me Golf Ball. And he was a really nice man. I never really remember anything other than him being kind, and I just didn't understand why that happened, and the visual of that.
Okay. And who shot him exactly?
It was my grandmother's sister's husband. So what you call that? great uncle, super uncle. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and how old were you when you saw that?
I had to be probably 7 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, about 7.
I mean, to see something that traumatic at 7 years old, how do you think it affected you?
Wow. It, you know, there's a sensitive side to me, that things that bother me. So now if I see something on, social media that if it's violence toward people, it really bothers me. So I think it woke up that more sensitive side of me. But then, you know, I know things are possible, like in the evil side of the world, in the part of the world that's not so kind. I know that it could happen. It could happen to people that are very close to you, or people that you don't know. So I know that the world has the potential to be that violent. So it makes me aware of, I pay attention and I move a certain way, being exposed to that.
And what happened to the man that killed him?
I don't even know if Uncle Jess made. I don't even know if he did any hard time. I think he was connected to people, and I'm sure he got punished a little, but I don't remember him going away a long time at all. Actually, I think he was in a brotherhood or something that was well protected and had ties to people with power. So I think there was probably some punishment, but I don't remember him being gone that long, to be honest with you. My Aunt Lean was an angel. His wife, oh, such an angel. Uncle Jess was cool, but he had about, he would drink pretty heavy, and yeah, and his trigger finger was cut off, to be honest with you. So I don't understand what had happened. I don't know if what happened, yeah, but whatever happened prior to that, I just remember he had this was a nub. He had the bending part, but the top of the finger was gone. I remember that. I never forgot that visual.
It sounds like a gangster.
Something happened, yeah, yeah. Something had happened, so he was probably pretty familiar with, doing whatever needed to be done. Was a hard working man, blue collar, worked for a lumber company and things like that. Worked every day, but he didn't take no mess.
Right. Now, you ended up dabbling in the streets at one point. To what extent did that go, and what made you stop?
You know what? Yeah, everybody was making money, and it was glorifying the dope boy with the money coming fast, and the beepers, and the new, the style, and just the business aspect of it. You have this product, and if you sell a lot, you earn a lot. And just for a moment, I wanted to try it. So I tried, a few bags of cocaine, and tried to sell it, some weed, but it wasn't me. I just remember thinking like, man, I know them. I know the people who I'm selling this to. Like, I can't. This not even. It don't even feel right. I'm not even sleeping my best. So, but it wasn't worth losing my soul and killing somebody else. So I went back to cutting hair full time in the house. It just felt better for me,
Yeah.
And the stress coming along with, when people don't have money and they have a desire to get high, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of need and a lot of I'll do anything, and I just didn't want to be in that world. So I decided I'm out. I retired extremely fast.